Hey everybody, it's Missy again. Thanks for joining me today. I have a new layout for Citrus Twist kits, and I'm using the June main kit and the June embellishment kit. This is my picture that I'm going to scrap today, and it has a lot of yellow in it. It's a picture of me and my husband in St. Martin back in December, and we were sitting in a little restaurant with the ocean right there, and you can't really see it because the lighting was so bright from the sun. But I wanted to create an island feel on this page, so I've already done a little bit of cutting on my Cameo. I used one of the pink paisley papers to create the word island. It's going to be part of my title. And then I took that Jen Hadfield light blue map paper and cut some big tropical type leaves on it. And I'm going to color these leaves green, and I'm going to use a couple shades of my Shimmers products here. I've got Aqua Hues and some creamies, and I'm just using my water brush to give these a green tint. And these are going to be a big background element behind my picture. And so when these dry, they're going to look totally different, but you're still going to be able to see the map through the leaves. And I thought that that was appropriate since we were on vacation in these pictures. Now over on the right, you'll notice there's a bunch of little die cuts. Those are from Cocoa Vanilla, and they're included in the main kit. I believe it's from, oh goodness, I've forgotten the collection. Let me check. Life is Beautiful. Life is Beautiful. There's also some of the, is it Totally Rad? So Rad? One of those collections. So there's a mix of some Cocoa Vanilla this month in the kits. And all of it is really, really neat. Okay, so I got my leaves done. I'm going to let those dry. And since you're wetting pattern paper, you know, when they dry, the leaves are going to kind of curl up because it's just the nature of getting paper wet, and it's going to look really neat and a little more realistic. So I'm going to play with the leaves here and arrange them the way I like them behind my picture. And I like this because it's going to contrast all the yellow in the picture. So the leaves are fully dry there, and I love how they look. They look not super real, but they look more real than they did a minute ago. Okay, so I am going to add some mixed media here onto my background. And this is another one of the Jen Hadfield papers, the wood grain. I love this paper. It's so pretty. And again, I think this is perfect for an island photo. It reminds me of a boardwalk, walking by the ocean. It reminds me of a tiki hut. I love the neutral color of it. So I'm just using an old credit card here and some white gesso and my fingers to smudge some of this white around the page. And then this kind of gets a little out of control here, but I wanted to add some blue, and I wanted it to be the color of that blue flower right there. And so I just take several bottles of my acrylic paint and try to find that color. And usually I'm pretty good about finding paints and mixes that get the color right away that I want, but I struggled to get that color. I made it too dark, too light, too green. So I just kept adding paint, and before long I had this giant pool of paint here, and I didn't even need that much, but I don't know. I was missing a key ingredient of a certain color, so I just kept going, and then I added green, and then it turned too green, and I just was like, what is going on? Did I lose all sense of color here? So as you can see, before long I'm going to have a huge glob of paint. Just keep going, keep going. This is how I cook as well. You know, I just keep adding stuff and it doesn't taste good. Just keep adding, and then I just chunk it and go out to eat. Yeah, that's a whole different story. Anyway, so this is what I wanted to do. I got the color close enough, and I'm just using my palette knife and I'm spreading some on. Now you're not even going to be able to see a lot of this. I'm going to cover a lot of this with the photo and the leaves, but I wanted something behind it. And that's definitely not the color of that flower, as you can see, but it's okay. I like how it turns out. I wanted it to contrast with the yellow in the picture. And I also wanted to include more of a bluish color, you know, because whenever I make a summer picture or I scrap something of us in the islands, I always think of the water and the ocean. And so I want some kind of teal or blue on my page to kind of represent the water. So now I'm just watering some of that paint down and doing some splatters. And then I have all that paint over there on the plastic. And what am I going to do with it? Because I'm not going to use it now. It's a good thing those little bottles of acrylic paint are only like 69 cents, because I would hate to waste really expensive paint doing this. So just make sure you got your colors right if you're going to mix it, because it can get out of control. But anyway, all is well. So I've decided to start placing everything down. The paint in the background is dry, and I did add some shimmers splatters to that also. I'm going to lightly stick everything down just like I have it here, because I don't want to move it, because I'll never get it back the way it was. And I am going to do some stitching through the leaves here in a little while, so they're definitely not going to move. And see, now you can still see the paint behind there, but it's not, you know, overpowering. When you first do that on a background and you cover a big area, you think, oh my gosh, I've just done way too much. But once you add your embellishments and your picture and your pattern paper on top of it, you know, it kind of hides a lot of it. And so you just see it peeking out from behind everything. And I think that's a really cool look. Yeah, look what I did there. How many times have I put tissue paper behind my picture? I should know by now that rolling that big ATG gun on top of tissue paper is going to rip it. But no, I just had to do it. And then I had a little hissy fit. I don't even know. It was going really fast. You may not have seen it, but I gave myself a thumbs down. Anyway, I fixed it. It's just tissue paper. So just be careful if you roll a tape gun over the tissue paper. What was that? Did you see my whole head? Oh, I don't even know what that was. That's unacceptable in a process video. You're only supposed to see my hands. I think I dropped something under my desk and I reached down to pick it up. I'm so sorry about the photo bombing or the video bombing of my entire face. Scary, scary. Anyway. Sticking everything down, I'm adding in a lot of those cocoa vanilla flowers. I'm adding in some thread, yellow. I've got yellow thread going on in 2 places. And my title is going to be On Island Time, because this is our first full day in St. Martin, and we were just exploring and walking around in a town called Phillipsburg, and it's right on the beach. It's right where all of the cruise ships come in. And we found this cool little restaurant and sat down to eat, and it was just breezy and you can hear the ocean, and it was perfect. So my title is On Island Time, and I combined my little cut file there with the Cocoa Vanilla Alpha stickers, and they're a light wood grain. This is a Jen Hadfield. I think it's Jen Hadfield. Of course, I don't have this in front of me anymore. No, it's not Jen Hadfield. It's We Are Memory Keepers. It's a puffy sticker sheet, and I use that flower on the right. That's that coral color. It's going to pick up the color in the island word. And now I'm just playing around with all those embellishments over there on the right. I love all the different mix of colors. I don't mix in any of the navy blue. There is a lot of navy blue going on in that Cocoa Vanilla set, but I don't pull any of that for this page. All right, I did some stitching, and I used, it's like a light tan color. I didn't want it to be overpowering. I wanted it to kind of blend in with the background, so I just did a subtle color, but I stitched through island and then a little bit onto the leaves. And up close, you can see that a lot better. I'm going to use that little banner piece just because when I think of a breeze, I think of, you know, when you see little banners in front of stores or in front of restaurants and they're kind of blowing in the wind. I don't know. That makes sense to me because we were in a little restaurant shopping area. And so that's why I like the way that looked. So I'm going to pop my photo up. I've added in some coral thread down there at the bottom. It's a really pretty color. And it matches that coral color going on in the layout. And I added some more up top behind that yellow flower. And it's just going to give it another pop of that coral. So the coral's kind of going to the left, to the right, and to the top and the bottom. I'm going to add these 2 little label pieces, and this is from the exclusive printable cut-apart sheet. And I'm going to put my journaling on these little pieces here. Yeah, I didn't want to add anything too dark on this page since it's a light, breezy type feel, I guess you could say. And that orange flower was from that big cluster die cut, but I didn't want the whole thing, so I just cut the orange piece. And I'm going to put some coral thread behind it. I'm obsessed with the thread. I don't even know how this happened. I know if you watch my channel on a regular basis, you know that I put a lot of thread on every layout that I make, and I don't even know how that got started. I know I wasn't the first person to think of that. I'm by any means not saying that, but I don't know when I became obsessed with it, and I don't know. I do it on every layout. It's like my thing, and I just love it. I can't explain why I love how that looks. I just do. The last thing I'm going to do before my journaling is add in some of these light blue phrase stickers, and these are another exclusive to the Citrus Twist kits. And there's a variety of sayings and words. I mean, there's something on there for everything. They're not a specific theme or anything. And I'm so glad that I don't have to walk around in real life with a bright light shining on top of my head, because that looks terrible. And my glasses, I can't see. I'm nearly blind, so yeah. I have to get close when I do my journaling, or I can't see what I'm writing. Oh, I'm getting old. Anyway, that's the end of the layout. That's the final page. I added the date and a couple of little stamps here and there from the exclusive stamp set. But I like how this turned out. I'm glad that I colored the leaves green. I think that gives a big statement. And I love all of the cocoa vanilla bits and pieces. And I'm actually happy with how my background paint turned out, even though it turned into a big gloppy mess for a while there. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions. Make sure you check out Citrus Twist Kits, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.